Hi, my name is Jessica Kurr, and I am a visiting lecturer in the Department of Communication Studies at Northeastern University. When I think about how communication researchers can influence changes in policies affecting trans rights in the coming years, I kind of think of three things. First is methodologically and expanding how we collect data or evidence in our own research practices. For communication science, this means revising how we gather population data or what types of questions we might consider. For media, rhetoric, and critical approaches, this could involve thinking about who and what events we analyze. And I think this is a necessary first step before we even consider those types of outreach efforts if we're thinking about how to use our own expertise to affect change outside of academia. Second, for any influence to be possible, scholars, especially cisgender scholars, need to be aware of the fact that people outside of communication will inevitably know more about trans rights and trans needs than they do, even if they don't have a PhD, they're not in academia, etc. That means we have to find ways to use our scholarly expertise to be helpful. For example, health comm researchers who look at lifestyle changes might think about whether these approaches work for trans individuals or how trans medical needs impact those lifestyle changes, right? And how the communication about those lifestyle changes will be different. Interpersonal scholars should rethink assumptions that they have about how couples function and how they interact with one another, especially when looking at queer and trans relationships. By doing so, comm researchers are in a better position to figure out how to use their expertise, which is centered in communication, to help individuals outside of academia who are pushing for changes not only in policies, but also values. And lastly, we have to remember that not every effort has to be groundbreaking or national in nature. There's a lot of value in trying to affect change on a local level, be it at your school board meeting, a city or county policy about domestic shelters or financial assistance or healthcare, or even your local hospital policy and outreach efforts to trans and queer populations. Trying to affect policies that affect trans rights is not just federal and national in nature, it's also local at the city and state level, at nonprofit policies, at corporation policies, at school and hospital policies, and we have to remember that. Thank you.